Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I volunteer just because I love sport.
It's inclusive for everybody. There's things for children, there's things for wheelchair users.
The aquatic centre's only just reopened, so I wanted to be sort of involved in part of that journey.
The volunteers, they're just so inspirational, and to be more like them, it makes me a better person, a happier person.
And it's a good thing to do. It's fun to meet new people and get involved in an international sporting event.
They're purely for the athletes' benefit and also to see how the real world works.
I volunteer because I'm doing sport management at Manchester Metropolitan University.
I volunteer at a lot of things because it makes me meet new people.
But every time I come, I have a great time, and I'd encourage anyone to give it a go.
And it's just an amazing experience to do, really.
Feeling that cost of living crunch? Labara are here to help.
All I want is great customer service and network, but for less.
That's why Labara gives you 15 gigabytes of 5G data and unlimited UK minutes and text for just £10 a month. Plus, no contract, change or cancel anytime.
An excellent customer service.
So what's stopping you joining the bill-busting revolution? Labara. More for less.
Welcome everyone back to Aberdeen Sports Village. You're here for the third day of action at the Citi Para Swimming World Series meet, incorporating the British Swimming International Meet 2024. Well, we've had a great first 2 days of action. A couple of world records for us to get excited about. One on day one, one on day two. So let's see if we can keep the run going for day number 3. Number of the national swimmers from Great Britain, the host nation, have done very well, breaking national records. A couple of very old records were broken yesterday in the S11 class. Scarlett Humphrey and Archie here breaking those records yesterday. It's stood for something like 20 years, so incredible performances from these young swimmers. Well, we start off today with the couple of sprint events, starting off with the women's 50 metres butterfly and followed by the open men's 50 metres butterfly. So world record breaker from yesterday, Elena Kravtsov, returning to the water in the women's event, so watch out for her. And then after that, it's distance all the way. Women's 400 freestyle, open men's 400, women's 200 freestyle, and open men's 200. So, lot to look forward to. Some excellent swimmers are going to be in front of you today in Aberdeen. We hope you are going to enjoy the action. British Swimming would like to thank our official partners, Citi and Labara, our official suppliers, Speedo and SOS, and our hosts, Aberdeen City Council, for their support of this event. We'd like to acknowledge and thank the officials on the deck and working behind the scenes for ensuring this event is of World Series standard, and we welcome our officials to poolside. The first event of the morning is the women's 15 metres butterfly. Athletes coming out, so please welcome the athletes for heat number 1. So one length of the pool for these swimmers. If you are looking on the live stream or here in the venue, lane 0 is closest to us and lane 9 is furthest away. Going well in lane number 9, Brooklyn Hale, right up there at the top. Again, mix of classifications. The time for the classifications will be compared to the world record for their class. And a points total will be registered. The highest number of points will progress to the finals tonight. And Brooklyn Hale in first. Good time from Brooklyn. 412 points for Brooklyn Hale. 597 though for Grace Harvey as she comes in. Britain Paralympic medalist Grace Harvey in lane number 8, swimming in the S6 classification. That looks like the highest points total so far. 597 for Grace Harvey. Still waiting for the final swimmer to finish, and that's Kirsty Gibb from Kelso and lane 1. Let's give her some encouragement as she comes in to the closing stages. And one of these national swimmers from Scotland, the Borders, Kelso, and she finishes in 1:28. So 597 for Grace Harvey. That looks like it is going to be the top score as we stand at the minute. Grace Harvey, of course, World Championship Paralympic medalist. Better known these days, the breaststroker. Turning her hand to butterfly this morning. Still waiting for confirmation of that result. Grace Harvey followed on by another S6 swimmer, Ung Chuk Yan of Hong Kong, who was closest to us in lane 0. So the two S6s look like they're top of the points totals as we stand. A little bit of a delay to get this first result. Let's hope everything is okay. Oh, we do have a couple of disqualifications there. That was a delay. And we see those disqualifications on the scoreboard. But Grace Harvey and Ung Chuk Yan confirmed as the top two in terms of points. Brooklyn Hale in third. Can I move on to heat number 2? A lot of big names in this one. As they go from 0 to 9, Iona Winifred, Mira Jean-Mac, Tish Rootliff, Susie Pellis, Imogen Dodds, Daniel Doris, Florian Bilcher, Sarai Gascon, Lena Kravtsov and Lisa Kruger. Watch out for Lena Kravtsov, European record holder in lane number 8. 29.49, so European record. 29.19 is the world record. World record holder Danielle Doris from Canada goes in 5. But Kravtsov, I think, is going to be in the wall over the 30-second mark, so no record this morning's heats this time for Kravtsov. Great swim from Danielle Doris, the world record holder, into the 900-point range. Kravtsov 842 in second position, and Tesh Rutlev. Going to be 2 Canadians in the top 3 if this result is confirmed. Oh, Lisa Kruger, in fact, getting in ahead of Tesh Rutlev. Sorry, Lisa. I'm not doing my maths correctly there. There we go. Danielle Doris confirmed the world record holder in first place, ahead of Elena Kravtsov, Lisa Kruger and Tesh Rutlev. Star-studded top 4. We're going to move on to the next event, and it is the men's, the open male 50 metres butterfly. 3 heats of this one. This is heat 1. And just 3 in this first of the 3 heats. Rowan Brennan, Arno van den Abel and Theo Reynolds. Only Theo Reynolds has an entry time. Rowan Brennan was an S9. He holds British records in the S9 class. Swimming S10 now. Let's see what he can do in this S10. 50 metres butterfly. Excellent swim there. 28.63 for Rowan Brennan. I'm delighted with that one. Van de Beer and Theo Reynolds. And then now, Van den Beer 296, Theo Reynolds 41.63. So you'll be pleased with that one. Another improvement for him. He's been making improvements almost every swim, Theo Reynolds. Good swim from Rowan Brennan. Just about a second or so outside the British record held by James Hollis. Rowan Brennan tops the points totals in Heat 1, and we can now move on to Heat number 2. So we have a spare lane, but we do have Isaac Johnson-Archie here, Declan Castles, Bruce D, Norburden, Aidan Stanbrook, Akash Das, Zach Shattuck and Yannick Erkart. As we look across the pool, it's almost in a diagonal line here. Yannick Erkart from Germany, 32.20 his entry time, being pressed by lane 6, Aidan Stanbrook. And it might be Stanbrook, first of all. Oh no, 1/100 separating the two. Yannick Erkart, 526 points for him, 548 for Akash Das, and 638 for Bruce D. Well, Bruce D has been having a good few days, as has Akash Das as well. We've seen both of them compete very well. Akash Das was the top points earner last night in the backstroke as well, so he's done a great swim this morning, 33.68 for him. Still waiting for the confirmed result of that heat number 2. Aidan Stanbrook swam well there at the front of the field, improving his entry time. Bruce D, it was 35.43. About half a second improvement for him. Oh, we do have a disqualification, unfortunately. Zach Shattuck is the one who tops the points total. 693 for the American. Bruce D and Akash Das in second and third position. That's the result of Heat 2 confirmed. Going to go to Heat number 3. So again, some big names in this one. Watch out for the likes of Roger Dorsman, Evan Austin, the Paralympic champion. Austin goes in 5, Dorsman 1 lane up, just 1 lane above those 2 yellow lane markers. European record stands at 27.89 for Dorsman. Looks like Malte Braunschweig's going to be in there. Dorsman in 28.84, the S11 swimmer. Big points total for him, 893. Braunschweig did a good job as well. 858 points for Malte Braunschweig, and Evan Austin as well, Paralympic champion, 882. So some big point scores there. Challenging the records for their own respective classifications. Missing out by small margins today. These early sprints. All these swimmers, if the result is confirmed, should be back again for another crack at this 50 butterfly in the finals. Roger Dorsman will get his black turret goggles checked. Hopefully after that we will get a confirmed result and there'll be no disqualifications. Close contest. Roger Dorsman with 893 will top that final heat. Evan Austin in second, very close behind, 882, and a good swim from Malte Braunschweig to take the third position in that heat, 858 points. And that is the conclusion of the sprint events. The 50 metres butterfly for this morning have ended, and we can now move on to the distance freestyles. Next event is the female 400 metres freestyle. There are 5 heats in this one. This is heat 1. Well, as I said, 5 heats of this 400 freestyle, just 3 swimmers taking the start for this one. The entry times about 7.5 to 8 minutes. Merrin Binney goes in lane 3 from Swim IT, leading them through the first 50. Josie Johnson goes for Richmond Dale in the centre lane, and Caitlin Trevor from Kingston Royal in lane number 5. Good contest between the leading 2 here. Josie Johnson, 15-year-old from Richmond Dale, and Merrin Binney, 15-year-old from Swim IT. So it looks like they a well-matched pair. Caitlin Trevor a little bit off the pace in the early stages. Mira Binney, S6 classification, Josie Johnson the S8. So you would imagine if they finished in these positions at the end of the 400, the S6 swimmer Mira Binney would have a higher points total. And these points totals, of course, as I said earlier, times converted into points, how close the swimmers are to world record marks for their respective classes. Always the world record mark, but it's a good rule of thumb to say it is the world record. It's a standard time based on performances, all-time performances. It's adjusted in some cases, but a good barometer is the world record pace for these points system. And of course, as always, S1 to 10 for those swimmers with a physical impairment, with S1 being the most impaired and S10 having the least impairment for these two swimmers. Mira Binney, the S6 classification, so right in the middle of that classification system for physical impairments. And Josie Johnson towards the less impaired end in the S8 classification. Caitlin Trevor swims in the S14 class, so she's an intellectually impaired athlete. And we also have the S11s to S13 for visual impaired athletes. Now, coming down to the halfway point in this first heat, so get a good idea if they're going to be on schedule. Mira Binney, 8 minutes exactly was her entry time. And Josie Johnson, 7:52. So Mira Binney, he's going to try to get under that 8-minute mark. She's going to have to be under the 4-minute mark, and I think she is going to be there, 3:54. So got a chance of achieving their entry times, these two. Caitlin Trevor, you see her coming down the opposite way. Just getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Caitlin Trevor, she comes down to halfway.
What's happening now is of course what happens is your budget
Now Caitlin Trevor going over 4:34. And Josie Johnson just stretching away slightly from Mira Binney. That's the lead extending. So Mira Binney, let's check, that's easy for me to calculate. I think she's gone what, 1 minute and 3 there, so if she continues 1 minute and 3 for the last 3, it's going to be just over the 8 minutes again from Mira Binney. She needs to pick up the pace very slightly if she's going to challenge that entry time. Coming up to the 300 mark. There's no seeded heats in this 400, so the heats all get progressively faster as we go through. Of course, mixture of classifications in each of the heats. The last heat especially is absolutely stacked with world champions, Paralympic medalists, world record holders. So one to look forward to in heat number 5, but to be honest, talent all the way through the heats today in these 400s. Opportunities for best times to be made, records to be broken in all of the 5 400s for the women. Caitlin Trevor has got 100 to go. As Chelsea Johnson comes up to our last turn. Clock just ticking over at the 7-minute mark. Well, Miriam Binney's going to have to put a little bit of a sprint on if she's going to get under that 8-minute mark. It'd be nice to see that. Let's see what she's got left in the tank, Miriam Binney. Got a chance there. Chelsea Johnson looks like she is going to be inside her entry time, I think, of 7:52.70. Well, she'll be pleased with this swim, the Richmondale swimmer. Yeah, the clock just ticking over 7:35. It's going to be an excellent swim. Let's give her a big hand here for Chelsea Johnson into the end. A great swim, 7:43. Well done, Chelsea. Big improvement on the entry time. And let's see if Miriam Binney can just dip under that 8-minute. Oh, I think she's just going to slip by. I think Miriam Binney, she's there or thereabouts, but it is going to be in the 8-minute range. Only just. Look at that, 8 minutes, 0.74. Great last 50. Would have been great to just dip under that 8-minute mark, but she'll save that for another day. Entry time of 8 minutes, 0.39, so consistent swimming from Miriam Binney. Caitlin Trevor. Coming into the last 15 just to complete this heat number 1. Let's give her a bit of encouragement. She comes into the last 5 here. It's a long way in 9 minute, 8.5 minute, 9-minute swim. No, well done, Caitlin. 8:49.69. There's the official results in terms of points. Miriam Binney takes it 2:54, just over that 8-minute mark. As the swimmers for Heat 1 exit the water, we can now move on to Heat number 2. So heat number 2 of the 5 heats underway. So right down at the bottom in lane 0, Rose Webb from Northampton. Lane 1, Iona Winifred, Tonbridge, Maisie Cat from Richmondale in lane 2, Samantha Lewis, Satellite in 3, Genevieve Hunter from Mid-Sussex goes in lane number 4, Ida Cochrane goes from Flitwick in lane 5, Fern Snedden representing Great Britain in the World Series, she goes in 6, Ella Williams, Swindon goes in 7, Scarlett Humphrey is in lane 8, and Katie Pake goes in lane number 9 on the outside. In Again, the seeding of these 400s, almost the fastest swimmers furthest away from us, so that's why we're seeing almost a diagonal pattern as they go up the pool. Scarlett Humphrey, well, what form she has been in the last couple of days, the last month or so actually. She's been rewriting the British record books. Scarlett Humphrey. This record in the S11 class is not held by her, it's held by her sister, Eliza Humphrey, who goes in the next heat. But Scarlett Humphrey has gone out pretty well in the early stages. As I said, record-breaking form, 3 British records already. She had 2 British records on day 1 of competition, and she broke them twice. Also about that long-standing 100 breaststroke record yesterday. You know, one of these almost 20-year-old records is gone in this S11 class. S11's, of course, swimmers with no vision. Both the Humphrey sisters will be wearing blacked-out goggles. It's part of the rules of S11 swimmers, that those swimmers with no vision should wear blacked-out goggles. Scarlett Humphrey, you have to say, looks very, very strong indeed. She comes up to the halfway point. We'll just check the splits at the halfway. And her sister set that British record in July last year. She went through in 2:48.93. So Scarlett Humphrey 2:45.33. So she is inside British record pace, Scarlett Humphrey, by a couple of seconds. She has got some excellent competition here as well at this World Para Series event. Lisette Bronsma from the Netherlands, Paralympic champion, of course, previously. Lisette Bronsma, European record holder. He goes in one of the heats to follow. Final heat, in fact, Lisette Bronsma. Scarlett Humphrey had a great swim against Lisette Bronsma in the 200 metres individual medley and in other races as well. So Scarlett Humphrey, one of the emerging talents of the GB team again, and that's come from that Northampton swim squad, producing so many great para swimmers over the last few years. She'll come up to the 300 mark. At this point, our sister went through at 4:13.46, and Scarlett has gone to 4:13.64, so she's slightly dipped off the pace. But we know she's very strong. I wonder if she can bring that back in the last 100. Looking down the field, Katie Pakes in second position, Ella Williams going well in third position. Fern Snedden having a good swim in lane number 6. It's a real close contest in the middle. Genevieve Hunter and Ida Corcoran side by side. Samantha Lewis going well. In fact, Maisie Catt actually was having a really good couple of days. She's been featuring, improving her times. Iona Winifred, record breaker yesterday in the breaststroke. And Rose Webb in the outside lane, one of the youngest alongside Iona Winifred. But here comes Scarlett Humphrey now, a British record held by her sister, 5:38.48. So can Scarlett Humphrey claim another British record here? She's got about 10 seconds to go. Not sure she is going to do it this time. Looks like it is going to slip by. 4:38.48, and the record is safe for Eliza for another day, but it was a good effort from Scarlett. 5:40.40. Bang on record pace, ahead of record pace at halfway. That's Scarlett Humphrey, 5:40, 647 points. Katie Pake, 406 points for the Carnegie swimmer. Keeping on Fern Snedden now, coming in lane number 6. Can she challenge the points totals there? 5:46, so not quite as many as Scarlett Humphrey. Into second position. I think anyone is going to challenge the points totals now. Other swimmers still to finish. Final swimmers coming in. Ayana Winifred, one of the 13-year-olds in this one, finishes 6:46 for her, just outside her entry time. Rose Webb with an entry time 7:05. She's just going to be outside that one. And Samantha Lewis as well coming in. So black tip goggles for Scott Humphrey will be checked. Looks like Fern Snedden will claim that second position if the results are confirmed. And Katie Peake might just sneaked into third there ahead of Maisie Catt. Again, these swimmers all trying to make that final tonight. 4 finals on offer, potentially. The A and B for the World Para Series, World Para Series Youth, and also the national final as well. So lots to play for. Try and make one of those finals. Well, result is confirmed there. Scarlett Humphrey ahead of Fern Snedden, and Katie Peake just ahead of Maisie Catt. That was the result of heat number 2. We can now move on to heat number 3. So in this one, we have Charlotte Hyde from Great Britain in line number 0. In line 1, Eliza Humphrey, still the British record holder in the S11 class. Lily Herring goes for Norfolk Viking in line number 2. Camilla Bitsvit from Denmark in 3. Abigail Wickens from Flitwick goes in line number 4. Ella Lytton-Jones for Great Britain goes in 5. Celine Vermont from Belgium goes in lane number 6. Sabrina Duchesne from Canada goes in lane number 7. Eva French in lane number 8 for Great Britain. And Evie Lambert on the outside lane in lane number 9. A good start there from Eva French. So 2 lanes in from Eva is Celine Vermont. Celine in the S14 class, Eva in the S10 class. A real match in these early stages here. We'll keep an eye on Eliza Humphrey, the S11 British record holder in this 400 freestyle. And she's gone out, well, inside British record pace. We saw her sister do that a little bit earlier in that previous heat. Scarlett Humphrey couldn't hold that early pace, and Eliza Humphrey, well, we'll see what she can do. She'll be pleased to have retained that British record, I'm sure, against her sister. Scarlett Humphrey's been in record-breaking form this week, as I said, number of events, but distance events seem to belong to Eliza Humphrey at the moment. Of the S11 British records that were on the books a couple of years ago, Great Britain had some excellent S11 swimmers in the past, Paralympic medalists, world champions. in recent years we haven't had that many S11 swimmers, not female swimmers anyway, so a lot of the British records were quite old records until the Humphrey sisters came onto the scene, and they've made it their mission to try and remove some of the old names from the record books, and they're doing a great job. 2:47 for Eliza. That's around about a second inside the British record pace when she broke that record last summer in Sheffield. Again, looking at these S11 swimmers, you just see Eliza Humphrey there. She's going to take the tap at the turn end. Just kind of brushing the rope, trying to keep straight in the water. Really difficult to do for these swimmers with a visual impairment. It's very easy to zigzag across the lane and lose time, like cover more distance, but the S11 swimmers that we've seen here, Roger Dorsman, Zet Brunsma, great technicians. They managed to just seem to keep safe straight down the line. And that's the key to swimming fast times. Not easy to do when you can't see. Celine Vermoes swam pretty well in the early stages of this one. 5:28 the entry time for Celine, and she looks like she's on track to be faster than that. Just check Eliza Humphrey split here. 4:14 again, just dropped slightly off British record pace. Her sister, so it was like 5:40.40, so she's on for something around about a very similar time. Eliza Humphrey. Celine Vermeaux going over in first position. Eva French still there in second place. Third to the wall, Camilla Bitsvit and Ella Litton-Jones just behind in fourth position. Evie Lambert going well right at the top in line number 9. But coming into the finish now. Good swim from the Belgian swimmer, Ines 14, Celine Vermeaux. 5:28 the entry time, but that is going to be smashed. Look at that, 5:19 for Celine Vermeaux. Excellent swim from her. Eva French second into the wall, both in the 500 range. We'll see what Eliza Humphrey can do here. She's going to be just inside the 5:40. So outside her record, British record of 5:38, but faster than her sister in the previous heat. 651 points. Sabrina Duchesne from Canada, the S7, looks like she's in ahead of Eliza Humphrey, 664. Oh, the S7 swimmer, Sabrina Duchesne. Canadians having a good last couple of days. Yeah, they picked up a few World Para Series titles. Blackout goggles will be checked before we can confirm the result. Mark Duchesne and Eliza Humphrey look like they are going to be top 2 if these results are confirmed. You would imagine so. You often see that many disqualifications in freestyle events, unless some swimmers can miss the turns, I suppose. False starts possibly, but generally freestyle is okay. And here we go, Duchesne takes it in 664 points. Eliza Humphrey second, and a good swim at the front of the field from Celine Vermeaux for third. And that's the result of heat 3. We move on to heat number 4. Lily Rice from Great Britain goes in lane 0. Megan Willis in lane 1 from Great Britain. Rebecca Lewis, also Great Britain. In lane number 2, Isabel Haynes from Swim Bournemouth. In 3, Rebecca Hardy-Bishop goes in lane number 4. Brooklyn Hale back in the water again. In 5, Mira Jean-Mac from Germany goes in 6. We have lane 7, but we've got Stephanie Booth and Amber Haycock in 8 and 9. Amber Haycock, Stephanie Booth, both S10 swimmers. And Amber Haycock has been on good form. Saw her getting the junior award, the youth award in the 100 freestyle. Again, another one of these swimmers to come out of Northampton. And she's gone away pretty fast here, the S10 swimmer. Trying to dip under the 5-minute mark. Entry times: Amber Haycock, Stephanie Booth, 5:02. So both of them would think they got a chance of just challenging that 5-minute mark. Megan Willis going well in the early stages. Megan Willis in the S9 classification. And a trio of Welsh swimmers there, Welsh Commonwealth Games swimmers. Megan Willis and Lily Rice. And well, Rebecca Lewis also closest to us. Megan Willis going really well. As they come down to halfway point, Amber Haycock is leading, but she's an S10. Megan Willis an S9, so at the moment, I would say in terms of points, Megan Willis has the edge, even though Amber Haycock has the lead. Long way to go though, it's only a halfway point. Rebecca Lewis touches in 3rd, Rebecca Hardy-Bishop in 4th, Stephanie Booth in 5th, but it's a close contest between those 3. Another close contest between the next 3. That's Isabella Haynes, Brooklyn Hale, Mira Jean-Mac. It's a similar situation probably that the German Mira Jean-Mac, the lowest numerical class out of those 3, so I expect her to have the edge in terms of points. Mira Jean-Mac's been a European medalist in this event previously. German swimmer. British S8 swimmer Lily Rice ahead of the German here, so she'll be pleased. Ahead of the other S8 swimmer, Lily Rice. This is to us. Commonwealth Games medalist for Wales in Birmingham a year and a half ago. Megan Willis still hanging on there. Amber Haycock 2 and a bit seconds advantage over Megan Willis, the 2 swimmers on either side of the pool almost. I have no idea where each other are. They will not have a clue there side by side, but they are giving us a good race to watch. See if Amber Haycock's just extended that lead slightly. She has. You know, she's just put a little bit of a spurt on there. Amber Haycock trying to dip under that 5-minute mark. She's got a good chance to do that. 4:29 at that turn. She's got a good chance of going under that 5-minute mark. Megan Willis might just be slightly over the 5 minutes, but it's a big improvement for her. 5:14.85 was her entry time. It's going to be an excellent swim. In fact, just over the 5 minutes there for Amber Haycock. 5:08.26. Megan Willis is under her entry time, 5:13.29. She can be pleased with that one. 688 points for Megan Willis. Lily Rice, a good swim from her as well, 5:21. Outside her entry time, but a good point score. Not much to choose between all swimmers in that field. All finishing pretty close. Good swims at the front of the field there. Amber Haycock touching the wall first. And Megan Willis. Excellent time there for swimmer in line 1, improving her entry time. She's given herself a great opportunity. Another swim tonight. Here is Megan Willis, confirmed as the winner of that heat, just ahead of Lily Rice and Mira Jean Mack, the two S8s in second and third. We now move on to the final heat, heat number 5. So a big international field here in this final heat. Yeah, so there Bretzer from Spain goes in line 0. Lisette Bronsma from the Netherlands goes in line number 1. World champion from last year and the European record holder Lisette Bronsma. Beatriz Lorida Maldonado from Spain goes in 2. An excellent swim in the backstroke yesterday. Brock Quiston on the middle podium in the individual medley. Brock Quiston, Great Britain swimmer, going in line number 3. Taylor Winnett from USA, in that distinctive swim costume. USA's top medalist at the Parapan Games last year. Taylor Winnett. Alice Ty, first time we've seen Alice Ty this week. She has been struggling with injury. Alice Ty, it's good to see her in the water. Faye Rogers going well in lane number 6. Faye Rogers, world champion, bronze medalist, world championship bronze medalist, based right here in Aberdeen. Faye Rogers. And next to her is her teammate Tony Shaw, Great Britain and Aberdeen teammate as well. Tony Shaw, medalist at the Paralympic Games in this event. It's 400 back in Tokyo a couple of years back. Pernilla Lindberg, that yellow cap of Sweden, goes in lane number 8. Probably leading the field at the moment. And Aurélie Rivard, world record holder, the S10 swimmer from Canada, Paralympic champion, goes in the outside lane. And Aurélie Rivard, again, one of the world's top performers, did the freestyle treble in Tokyo. And she took the world record in this one. It's 400 freestyle, 4:24.08. Incredible time posted by the Canadian to win that Paralympic gold. Faye Rogers just heading Aurélie Rivard in the battle of the two S10s. Both of them being headed by Pernilla Lindberg. Let's keep an eye on the swimmers further down the field as well. As you said, talent all the way through this field. European record holder Lisette Bronsma from the Netherlands. She could post a good points total. Of course, we've got Brock Whiston and Alice Ty two S8s. Alice Tai, a remarkable comeback. And she was a Paralympic gold medalist in the relay in a Rio Games, had an incredible World Championships in 2019, winning 7 gold medals. Had to come back after an amputation, had her leg amputated, came back really strongly to compete in the Commonwealth Games and the World Championships in 2022, and hoping to do something special as she prepares for Paris. As I said, recovering from injury, Alice Tai. It's just great to see her back in the water. Really Rivard has put a little bit of a sprint on now as she comes into the last 100. Lindbergh now down into third as Faye Rogers picks it up as well. Rivard really showing her class here. Well-paced first half of that 400. And she's stretching away here as she comes down almost to the last half length of this one. Faye Rogers holding in there. Bronze medal in her World Championship debut last year in Manchester. So Rivard finishing strongly, looking really strong at the end here. Aurélie Rivard. And Canadians like that one. 818 points. Nice points total as well. Faye Rogers 793. 798 for Lindbergh. See what Tony Shaw can do, the world champion from 2022. 807 points for her. Another good points total. She just gets in ahead of Taylor Winnett. Brock Kristen coming in lane number 3, 745 points. Just that ahead of Zadar Barretso and Iselzet Bronsma. She'll come in now. Netherlands swimmer 742. So big point scores here as Alice Tai touches the wall now. Oh, lots of swimmers in the 700 point range and above. Aurélie Rivard and Tony Shaw in the 800 range. I think practically all of these swimmers will be back again tonight for another go at this 400. Big points totals there. But you've got to say, Aurélie Rivard looked very good in the second half. Relaxed first half. And looking strong in the second half of that 400. Well-paced swim as well by Faye Rogers. 793. And Tony Shaw, the S9, coming through strongly to beat 807 points at the end. Lisette Bronsma will get the goggles checked before we can confirm the result. Just saying the 1,000 points equivalent to the world record swim roughly. So anything in the 700 range and above is real top quality. Oh, just see 9 of the swimmers there in the 700 point range and above, just showing you the quality of that one. Aurélie Rivard confirmed as the top point scorer, 818, ahead of Tony Shaw and Pernilla Lindbergh, just under the 800 point range in third. And that was the final heat of the women's 400 freestyle. We now go to heat number 1 of the open men's 400 freestyle. Well, 4 heats of this open male 400 freestyle. Here 9-0. We have Wang Keichou from Hong Kong. This one's without an entry time. He's gone off to a fast start. George Longley goes in lane number 1 for Cairn fourth. Isaac Johnson, Borough Kirklees into Theo Reynolds, Barnstable goes in 3. Andrew Griffiths from East Leeds goes in lane number 4. Kenzie O'Reilly from Gloucester in 5. Alex Hobbs, Swansea University in 6. Archie Hare goes in lane number 7 for Richmond Dale, and Zach Washington Young goes for Great Britain in lane number 8. Now Wang Keichou leads them through on that first 100. Archie Hare in 2nd and Zach Washington Young in 3rd position. Archie Hare is a swimmer who broke that near 20-year-old record yesterday in the S11 50 backstroke, held by Chris Holmes, who himself was a multi-Paralympic gold medalist. 9 Paralympic gold medals that Chris Holmes won in the pool in 1992 and 1996, before he went on to head up the London 2012 Paralympic Games organising committee. So good man to take a record from. One of Great Britain's all-time most successful Paralympic swimmers, Chris Holmes, and Archie Hare's just taken one of his records down. Getting up to halfway point. The 2nd and 3rd swimmers. Wang Keichou is going over now in 2:32.37. The swimmer without an entry time. But quite often, swimmers without entry times, we don't, a bit of an unknown quantity. Quite often you see them stretching in front of the field. They tend to be, some of them tend to be the higher numerical classes, or Chow is S10 class. His points total might not be as great as the 2 following. With Archie Hare just going ahead of, in fact, Zach Washington Young, going ahead of Archie Hare. And Zach Washington Young, so he's in the S6 classification. You can see him back in the water again. Likes the 400, Washington Young. I do remember commentating on one of the races, Zach Washington Young in Berlin. He probably knows I'm going to mention this, but he had to swim at 400 freestyle on his own and did a great job at the Berlin World Para Series a couple of years back. Really tough to swim that 400 freestyle on your own, but really was focused for that 400 and did a big personal best time on that occasion. And he just built on that over the last couple of years. Again, one of these Great Britain swimmers who might just have designs on trying to make it to the Paris Paralympic Games, which is just on the horizon. Hard to believe. And Paris right at the end of August this year, so well, what's that? In February now, so 6.5 months away. Great Britain trials, of course, in April, so the team will be selected, I think, somewhere around about the middle of April, just after the trials. So swimmers, Chow in lane number 1, still with the lead. Washington Young doing well. Coming through strongly. And some of the swimmers just getting a little bit detached now from the others as Wang Kei-Chow finishes in at 5:28.72. Zach Washington Young is going to be 5:42 for him. Finished with 620 points. Archie Hare 5:48 for Archie Hare. And 458 points. Oh, nice swim from these two. Kenzie O'Reilly coming in lane number 5, the 15-year-old from Gloucester. 6:14 was his entry time. He's finished in 6:16. Not too far away. Alex Hobbs and Andrew Griffiths having a little bit of a tussle. Also coming through, Theo Reynolds. Into the wall. Here's Alex Hobbs, 6:43. Griffiths and Reynolds. Just like Washington Young is going to be the highest points earner, 6:20. I don't think the others can challenge that. Still 2 to come. Isaac Johnson, 260 points there, 7:11 for Isaac Johnson. Let's see what George Longley can do. 15-year-olds, let's give him some encouragement into the wall. George Longley with that entry time of 7:46. So let's see if he can better that. Real strong finish from him, and he's well inside it. 7:38, an 8-second improvement for George Longley. So Archie here will get those blacked out goggles checked for the S11 class. Zach Washington Young, 620 points for him. That'll be enough to make it into another final tonight. Zach Washington Young, possibly 620 points, not too bad. That's 4 heats on this 400 freestyle. And the result is confirmed. That Washington Young confirmed as the winner in terms of points. 620. Archie here in second, and Wang Kei-Chow in third place. This is heat number 2. We have Bruce D from Great Britain in 0. Matthew Davies from City of Southampton in 1. Nathan Brown from Beverley Barracudas in lane 2. Noah Burden from Satellite in 3. Darren Paredes Flores from Surrey University in 4. Alfie Penfold from Great Britain in 5. Jamie Curtis goes for City of Bristol in 6. Owen Say, Nova Centurion in 7. Max Davies from Worksop in 8. And Bjorn Iron from Hamilton in lane number 9. And it's one of these. The heat is seeded in terms of time, but diagonally across the pool. So if Bjorn the fastest entry time, 4:49. Goes in the far away lane. Slowest entry time is Bruce D. It goes in the near lane. Again, as we've seen time and time again, it's not always the swimmer who touches the wall first who gets the highest number of points. And Bruce D being the lowest numerical class is that maybe a good possibility that we might have to wait until the very final swimmer finishes to see who finishes on top, because Bruce D's got a chance. Alfie Penfold leads them out. So Alfie Penfold in the 49-point relay the other day. He's pleased to get a run out in the Great Britain Visually Impaired relay team. It's nice to see Alfie Penfold, the S13 swimmer, out at the front of the field. He's heading Bjorn in the far lane. Also pressed by Jamie Curtis. Alfie Penfold's just holding off the challenge here as they go over that halfway point. It's Bjorn far lane, that blue cap of Jamie Curtis, and the Great Britain cap of Alfie Penfold. Also trying to get back into contention in lane 8, Max Davies. Bruce D's gone over in 2:46 for Bruce D. He's probably there or thereabout for his entry time of 5:34, Bruce D. Again, there's another one who has challenged an old British record in the 100 freestyle the other day. It was a 12-year-old British record, not quite the 20 years of the S11s, but 12-year-old British record that Bruce D was challenging. Just missed out on that on that day one of the competition in the 100 freestyle. Alfie Penfold's through in first position in 3:40.91. He goes into the last 100, looking strong, Alfie Penfold. Alfie Penfold in the S13 class. I don't think he's going to be close to the British record today, but another long-standing British record held by Chris Fox way back from 2000. So long-standing visually impaired records, some of them still on the books. Alfie Penfold, though, it's looking very strong here in the closing stages. Jamie Curtis has been left in his wake, and Alfie Penfold coming away very strongly. A lot more in the tank, Alfie Penfold, than the rest of the field. And he touches in 4:52. Excellent improvement from Alfie. He's pleased with that, just punching the water. 11 second improvement almost for Alfie Penfold. Great swim, 5:42. Jamie Curtis has the highest points total so far, 696. 638 for Max Davies. Radius Flores with 403 points. So watch out for Bruce D. He's coming in now. Can he challenge at 696? I'm not sure if he will. He's close, you know, 686 for Bruce D. Didn't think he'd be that close. 5:31 for Bruce D. Another good improvement for him. 3 seconds improvement again. So we're very much on the move is Bruce D. Jamie Curtis takes it just by 10 points. Bruce D in second. Max Davies, 638 for third position. was heat 2. We go on to heat number 3. No swimmer in lane number 6. In this third heat of the 400 freestyle, Matthew Redfern goes in lane 0 from Great Britain. Bruce Jones in 1 from Aaron Tridents. Sam Downey from Great Britain goes in lane number 2. Zach Zona from Canada in lane number 3. Corey Hare from Team Ipswich in 4. Another Canadian in lane number 5, Philippe Vachon. No one in 6. We have Luke Batty in 7 for Great Britain. Inigo Lopez Sanz for Spain in 8. And Thomas Navarro Barber from Great Britain in lane number 9. So Redfern going well on the near side. Thomas Navarro Barber going well on the far side. The S13 swimmer, visually impaired swimmer Redfern. And the S9 swimmer, Thomas Navarro Barber. Again, another 2 swimmers that featured in those Great Britain relay teams from a couple of days ago. So Navarro Barber, entry time 4:36. He's going bit of a lead over Inigo Lopez Sanz. Inigo Lopez Sanz is 8 swimmer from Spain. He was a European champion in this 400 freestyle back in the European champs in Dublin back in 2018. Since then, he's really made his name as a backstroker, Inigo Lopez Sanz, winning the world title last year in Manchester. Also, he's been a major part of the very successful Spanish mixed relay team. The backstroke leg, Inigo Lopez Sanz, as they took the gold in the medley relay in Manchester. Incredible race that was for the Spanish team. Incredible race to watch. Spain very much looking to build on that success at the World Championships in Paris, and Inigo Lopez Sanz will be a really important part of that Spanish team. He's second at the minute to Thomas Navarro Barber. He is 1 class down though. He's an S8 compared to an S9, so Inigo Lopez Sanz will be looking at the highest points total as they stand at the minute. You know, kind of cluster of swimmers inside him. Luke Batty, Philippe Vachon, Corey Hare, Zach Zona. There's 4 swimmers all in a row. Matthew Redfern just dropping back slightly after that quick start. There's encouragement from the Canadians right in front of us. That's what we like to hear. Philippe Vachon, one of these swimmers was at the World Championship last year. 4th position, just missing out on a medal. Stretching away in the far lane. Thomas Navarro Barber looking very strong indeed. Still lots of swimming in him. Good for that entry time of 4:36. Inigo Lopez Sanz not too far behind. I think the Spanish swimmer will be okay in terms of points. 4 minutes or the 3:50 mark for Navarro Barber. 4:06 for Inigo Lopez Sanz. Philippe Vachon. The best of the two Canadian S8s is Philippe Vachon at the minute. It's behind Inigo Lopez Sanz though, but here comes Thomas Navarro Barber. And he is going to be 4:36 inside his entry time, 4:36.18. Inigo Lopez Sanz, as we thought, will have a points total, big points total actually, 839. 750, 793 for Philippe Vachon, and Zach Zona just behind, 773. So big scores from the S8 swimmers. Inigo Lopez Sanz, 839 points, leads the way. Good score from Navarro Barber as well. So the S8s lead the way. Inigo Lopez Sanz, Vachon and Zona, 839 points. Great points total from Inigo Lopez Sanz. That was heat number 3. We now move on to heat number 4, and we can now move on to heat number 4. Big points in that third heat. What kind of points totals are we going to get for this fourth one? We have just 9 swimmers taking the start. This one, Reid Maxwell from Canada, Maurice Vettigam from Germany goes in 1, Zach Sturgis, Bournemouth College in 2, Roger Dorsman, the S11 swimmer. You just see him being tapped at the turn there, Roger Dorsman, European record holder. Dutchman, hugely successful in a number of events. William Newton from City of Coventry goes in lane number 4 in the S14 class. Kieran Williams, Great Britain, in 5. Jose Antonio Maria Alcaraz from Spain next to his Spanish teammate Jacobo Garrido Brun. They go in 6 and 7. Ollie Carter goes in lane number 8 and leads them through the first 100. Second place, Kieran Williams, Roger Dorsman going well in the early stages. 4:33 for the Dutch swimmer. European record holder, Roger Dorsman. And world record is another long-standing one. Roger has got several world records to his name, but one that he hasn't been able to claim is his 400 freestyle. And that's one that stood since 1992. Long standing one. John Morgan from the USA. Incredible swimmer who won the gold and took that world record at the Barcelona Paralympics in 1992, and it stood ever since. It's going well on the outside lane, Ollie Carter. Carter in the S10 class, member of the GB team at the last 2 World Championships, 2023 and 2022, and also member of the Scottish Commonwealth Games team in Birmingham in 2022. Looked good in the first half of that 400. Still looks pretty strong. Lane number 5 coming along nicely. Kieran Williams, another S10 swimmer. He's behind Carter. Zach Sturgis, another S10 swimmer in 3rd. Dorsman going over 4th, 5th actually. Jacobo Garrido Brun from Spain ahead of Roger Dorsman. Jacobo Garrido Brun, again a great record in this 400 freestyle. He's won European medals and an incredible world title win. He took the World Championship back in 2019. We saw him win the World Para Swimming Open Water event late in 2023. The Spanish swimmer, much a distance specialist. He's in fourth at the minute, ahead of his teammate Jose Maria Alcaraz. Again, vastly experienced campaigner, a member of that Spanish relay team. Talked about Inigo Lopez Sanz a little earlier. Jose Maria is very much a part of that one in the butterfly leg, that medley relay team. Building towards Paris Games as Ollie Carter heads for home. Let's see what Ollie Carter can do. Great Britain swimmer. Based in Stirling, and looks like he is going to hold off the challenge of Kieran Williams to win this battle of the S10s. Carter. It's going to be somewhere in the mid 420s. Let's see if the points total is going to be enough. 7:15 is pretty good points total, you have to say. Garrido Brun maybe in lane number 7. Might better that when he does. 7:73. What's Dorsman going to do as he comes into the finish? Yes, 8:80 for Dorsman. 8:90 in fact. My eyes deceiving me on the scoreboard. 8:90 for Roger Dorsman. 4:39.04. So we'll see him safely into that final. Lots in the 700 range. Reed Maxwell is a great swim from the Canadian in lane 0. Another one of the S8s. 869 points for Reed Maxwell. So he can be pleased with that swim. The Canadian who swam very well in 100 freestyle in day 1. Of course, the blacked out goggles of Dorsman have to be checked before the result can be made official. 890 points for him. Maxwell 869, and Garrido Brun 773. They could be the top 3. It's confirmed. Dorsman, Maxwell, Garrido Brun. That's the final 400 freestyle for the men. We can go on now to the women's 200 meters freestyle heat 1. So 4 heats of this 200 freestyle. 3 swimmers in this first heat. 2 from Denmark, 1 from Hong Kong. Freya Norbeck-Kvist in lane 3. Lockie Dorothy Au in lane 4. Johanna Oland Flugger from Denmark in lane number 5. So Norbeck-Kvist, an S10 swimmer. The other 2 are S9s. So you think Norbeck-Kvist need a little bit of an advantage over the 2 further along from her. Norbeck-Kvist, the closest to us as we're looking at it, in lane number 3. Needs to be ahead of the other 2 if she's going to challenge them in points totals. Looks like Lockie Dorothy out. He's gone out very well in these early stages. One of these junior swimmers, quite a young first heat, this one. 2 Danish swimmers, 15 years and 18 years respectively. The Hong Kong swimmer, 17 years of age. She's come through the ranks in the last couple of years. She was voted the Hong Kong Outstanding Junior Athlete of 2022. Swimmer in the centre lane there. You could see some Danish young swimmers coming through the ranks as well. Denmark, another country, they've always competed well on the international stage. Always had quite a small team, the Danish team, but they've had lots of success in the past. Right across the classifications, they had some lower classification swimmers, lower numerical classes. Some of the less physically impaired classes, visually impaired, they would have been strong as well. And it's a real fight here for the bragging rights for the two Danish swimmers. Norvik Quist, Nolan Frukja. 3 against 5. It looks like it might be Olin Frukja, might just have the edge here. He certainly will in terms of points, but who's going to get the touch? Denmark against Denmark. Ooh, look at that, 10th of a second separating them. It does go to the S10 swimmer. Norvik Quist just stretching for that one. 4.98 against 5.12. 2.51 for the Hong Kong swimmer in the centre. There's the result confirmed. Olin Frukja taking that one, 512 points. And as these swimmers exit the water, we can move on now to heat number 2. So 8 swimmers taking the start for the second heat. Second of the 4 heats. A range of classifications in this one. Tegan Davidson goes in lane number 1. Masako van der Linden from Namibia goes in lane 2. Lucy Scott from Richmondale in 3. Clemens Burry from Canada in 4. Berta Garcia Grau from Spain in lane number 5. Ellie Chalice, British record holder, representing Great Britain in lane number 6. Caitlin Trevor, Kingston Royals in lane 7. And Ida Cochran out ahead. The others in the field. She goes in lane number 8. Ida Cochran, we saw her swim a few races this week. Athletic dolphin swimmer, 15 years of age, youngest in this field. Going to the halfway point. Ida Cochran was the fastest entry time, 3:10. Time 1:29 is, yeah, pretty much on par, maybe slightly inside that 3:10. We'll just wait and see how she goes in the second half. Hope she hasn't gone out too quickly. Tegan Davidson going well, closest to us in the S6 classification. Great Britain swimmer, the 18-year-old. Ida Cochran coming into the turn now. And as the field kind of inside, it's all kind of spread out a little. Ida Cochran going over in 2:19.59. And the other swimmers making their way up the pool. Tegan Davidson going really well. range of classifications in the centre. Ellie Chalice with the lowest numerical classification. She goes in lane number 6, just the lane on the top of those 2 yellow marked lanes. She's in the S3 classification. She's the British record holder. That British record stands at 3:35. Ellie Chalice will be outside that 3:35, but watch out for her points total when she comes in. Watch out for the points total of Ida Corcoran right now. 308.69, gets 326 points for Ida Corcoran. Caitlin Trevor, she set herself a tough shift today. We just saw her swim the 400. She is just about catching Tegan Davidson here as they're coming in together. Tegan Davidson should have a higher points total, I think. Yeah, 344 for Tegan Davidson. Here's Ellie Chalice. She might be the highest points total of them all. Yeah, 629 for Ellie Chalice. Berta Garcia Grau, 375. And there's Clemens Paré in now in 345 points. One more swimmer in the water, and that is Lucy Scott from Richmond Dale's 16-year-old. Yes, 7 classification. Ellie Chalice 348. Ellie Chalice is the final swimmer coming into the wall. Crowd giving her some encouragement here. Let's do that for the last 10 metres if we can. Lucy Scott. It's not going to be too far away from her entry time of 4:49. The clock just ticking over at 4:49 there. 4:53 for Lucy Scott. So Ellie Chalice confirmed as the winner of that heat in 629 points. We can now move, as the swimmers exit the water, on to heat number 3. This 200 freestyle. It's an event in the Paralympic Games and World Championships for the S1 to S5 classifications, and also an event for the S14 classification. And as a result, a number of S14s will be doing this 200 freestyle in the last 2 heats. Including, how many in this one? 7, I think, in this one. 6, maybe. Got a couple of empty lanes. Full lineup for this heat. Emma Emery, South Ayrshire in 0. She's an S10 swimmer. Lily Herring goes in 3, S10. And all the others are the S14 swimmers. Charlie Morgan Emery from Nova. Amy McFarlane from Motherwell and Wishaw. Talia Glynn from Stockport Metro. No swimmer in 6, but we do have Celine Vermeau. Saw her a little bit earlier on. Belgian swimmer, Chiara Faloni. That yellow cap up there of City of Salford. And Megan Neve, the only British winner yesterday in that sensational 100 backstroke swim. Making progress, Megan Neve. Wonder if she can make a big improvement just as she did in that 100 backstroke. Like Megan Neve improved her time on the backstroke in the heats and then improved it again by a massive amount in the final. So very much on form, working towards those Olympic, Paralympic trials at the beginning of April. And that backstroke swim has put her very much in contention. What could she do in this 200 freestyle? She is well clear of the rest of the field. This, I think, is going to be the highest points there, and I don't think the S10 swimmers will be able to challenge the points total that's going to be set by Megan Neve here. 631 points for her. The other S14s coming in now. Celine Vermeaux in 7. 531, Talia Glynn, 525. Amy McFarlane registered as a big points total, but that's maybe a split time for Amy. She's just finishing now in lane number 4. There she goes, 384 points. And decent swims from the two S10s as well. Emma Embry and Lily Herring, but they couldn't challenge Megan Neve, who takes that one in 631, exactly 100 points ahead of Celine Vermeaux. As we go on to the next heat of this women's 200 freestyle, which is heat number 4. Final heat, Sienna Oxby from Great Britain in 0. Grace Robinson from City of Manchester Aquatic in 1. Georgia Sheffield from Great Britain in 2. Chung Hyo Ying from Hong Kong in 3. Angela Marina from Canada in 4. Poppy Maskell, Great Britain in 5. Amber van der Kroot, 6 from Netherlands. Maria Kinoshita from Japan in 7. Pernilla Lindberg from Sweden in lane number 8, and Louise Fiddis right out there in lane number 9 from Great Britain. S14s all the way. And fastest entry time is Louise Fiddis, 207.68. A close contest here. Louise Fiddis leads them, but Kinoshita, Van der Kroot, Poppy Maskell, 3 all in a row. Louise Fiddis made a name as a breaststroker a few years ago, but moved into other events, as I was saying the other day. Very good individual medley swimmer. Also a good 200 freestyler. She won bronze in the 200 free last year at the World Championships and in the Commonwealth Games as well. So maybe 200 free. There's going to be a qualification chance for Louise Fiddis. Louise Fiddis going into the final turn, being pressed by the 3 inside her. This could be a close finish here. Louise Fiddis just ahead of Amber van der Kroot and also Poppy Maskell, Aria Kinoshita. Looks like it's between these 4, and it might well be Poppy Maskell here in lane number 5, who's maybe the stronger in this last 50 metres. Poppy Maskell might just get ahead of Fiddis, a long-time leader. Maskell looking really strong here. She will take that one in 2:12.09. Good time from Poppy Maskell. 821 points as well. Fiddis just under the 800 point range on 799, and Amber van der Kroot 765. swimmers, certainly top 4 in that heat, should be safely back into the final this evening. Poppy Maskell takes it ahead of her GB teammate Louise Fiddis. That was the final heat of the women's 200 freestyle. We can now move to the first heat of the open male 200 freestyle. First heat of this 200 freestyle for the open male category. Again, swimmers without entry time, so this makes it a little bit more interesting. Let's figure out what is going to happen with this one. Mark Tomsett and Harry Stewart both had success yesterday in the breaststroke and backstroke events. They go in lines 1 and 2. Great Britain swimmers. Arnaud van den Abiel from Belgium goes in lane number 3. Dimitri Grandjou, a French swimmer, swims in the S3 class. He goes in 4. Sydney Roskilly and Lukman Abdi, 2 S6s from Richmond Dale and City of Coventry, respectively. They go in 5 and 6. And Rodrigo Santillan, he goes for Peru, the S2 swimmer, in lane number 7. Mark Tomsett and Harry Stewart just split by 7/100ths of a second. Yeah, made big impressions yesterday. Tomsett and Harry Stewart. Harry Stewart, a great breaststroke swim that we saw. Mark Tomsett, good backstroke swims. Are they coming together here in the freestyle? Looks like Harry Stewart has the edge now. We might have to wait for a while just to make sure who is going to take the highest point score. Dimitri Grandjou, the S3 class. Rodrigo Santillan in the S2. We'll get into the wall and might challenge the points totals for the leading 2 here. Harry Stewart, he's going to hold off the challenge of Mark Tomsett. Harry Stewart in 680 points. Could be a quite tough challenge here for the rest of the swimmers. Mark Tomsett 644. 2 youngsters in the middle in the S6 classification are Sydney Roskilly and Lukman Abdi. As Santillan goes over at the halfway point, the Peruvian. Van den Abiel from Belgium, the S10. He comes in the touch now in 2:48, 312 points. Dimitri Grandjou. Again, we saw him take a title on day 1 in the 150 metres individual medley. The French, as I said before, just preparing their team for their home Paralympic Games. They want to be picking up medals in Paris. We'll see what kind of points that Dimitri Grandjeau can come back with here. It's going to be a big points total, I think. Look at that, 956, very big. Didn't think it was going to be that big a total, but it is. Look at that, fantastic stuff there from the French swimmer. That is going to be, well, no one in this heat is going to beat that time, let's put it that way. 956 points. 322. This Dimitri Grandjeau has been a real find for the French team. These big points totals. With a score like that, even in this very first heat, still 3 more heats to come. That's going to be a tough score to beat for all of the heats. So what about this race in the middle? Sydney Roskilly and Lukman Abdi. Sydney Roskilly really coming back now. Lukman Abdi has the edge. These two swimmers going head to head now. Lukman Abdi looking over to Sydney Roskilly. He's got the advantage of breathing to this side, and you can see his competitor. They're coming in together, and Lukman Abdi will just take it. What a good tussle there between these two. Sydney Roskilly in 4:30. Big improvements on the times. Both entry times over the 5-minute mark, and look at that, 4:30 and 4:29. Smashed it. Here's Rodrigo Santillan, the lowest numerical class. He has 2, the highest level of impairment. A man from Peru. Let's see what kind of totals he can get. 504 points for Santillan, just over the 5-minute mark. Dimitri Grandjeau confirmed in 956 points, ahead of Harry Stewart and Mark Thompson. The Heat 1 swimmers will leave the water, and we will move to Heat number 2. Again, a mixture of classes here. Again, the time seeded across the pool. So that's why we're seeing in these early stages the diagonal line of swimmers. Joe Field in lane 0. Slowest entry time of all the swimmers here. He goes in the S5 class. Harvey Phillips in the S4 class for Great Britain in 1, and Andreas Ehrenhofer from Austria in lane number 2. Andrew Griffiths, he's an S8 swimmer, he goes in lane 3. 2 S14s in lanes 4 and 5, Ashton Platts and Liam Hardy. Akash Das, S8 swimmer, going well at the minute, just in those, just the lane above those 2 yellow marked lanes. He goes in lane number 6. Matthew Davies in 7, Darren Paredes Flores in lane number 8, and leading them through at the halfway is Giorgio Oxby. 9:43 at the halfway point. Paredes Flores in 2, Akash Das. Breaking up the pattern a little bit here. He's in 3rd, just ahead of the faster entry time of Matthew Davies. New tussle in the middle as well, 4 and 5, Ashton Platts and Liam Hardy. But as the leading swimmers come down to the last turn, Andrew Sernhofer and Harvey Phillips having a good tussle here at the halfway point. I'll come back to them because, again, swimmers in the lower numerical classes could post some big points totals, even though they will be well behind these S14 and S10 swimmers who are going to hit the wall first. And George Oxby still looks pretty powerful. He comes in to his last 10 metres. 2:13.74 was the entry time, so he's outside that. He'll come in 2:24, 472 points. Paredes Flores just behind that one, 4:55. Akash Das into the wall, 5:10. He is the highest so far. I wonder if we're going to get someone like Andres Ehrenhofer just challenging that one. Andres Ehrenhofer, the Austrian. Again, he's one that has been on top of the medal podium, 50 breaststroke winner yesterday in the World Para Series. Andrew Griffiths coming in now. Some ties there in their terms of points. 301 points with Ashton Platts. And here's Ehrenhofer, those big, familiar, long arms of Andreas Ehrenhofer. Can he challenge 510 points set by Akash Das? Oh, 495 from Ehrenhofer. It was mighty close. And Harvey Phillips is coming in now in 337. Harvey Phillips, 437 points. Joe Field will be the final swimmer. Here he comes into the last few metres. Well done, Joe Field, 357 for him. That's a big improvement on his 4:04 entry time. So, good morning's work for Joe Field. Akash Das holds on to the lead though, 510 points for him, ahead of Ehrenhofer and Oxby. So that was heat 2. Coming up will be heat 3. All S14s in this third heat. Corey Hare in lane 0 from Team Ipswich. Adrian Longaron Carrera from Spain in lane 1. Owen Garsides 2 from Kingston upon Hull. Aymeric Parmentier from Belgium in 3. William Newton from City of Coventry in lane 4. Jack Milne from Great Britain in 5. Cameron Verncoombe, Great Britain in 6. Off to a good lead, Cameron Verncoombe. Jude Gunner goes in 7. St Felix School swimmer. We saw him on the medal podium taking junior awards in that 100 freestyle on the first night of action. Javier Labrador Fernandez goes in lane number 8. And he's lying in second position at that halfway point. Nathan McManus goes in the outside lane, lane number 9. Cameron Verncoombe, lane number 6, the lane just above those 2 yellow marked lanes, means business. You saw him swim. Excellent individual medley. Good breaststroke as well, but it's excellent 200 freestyle in prospect for Cameron Burncombe. As I said, S14 all the way, so in terms of this particular heat, it does matter who's first to the wall. Of course, they're going to have to gauge themselves against the other heats as high as number of points as possible to try and make one of those finals tonight. And here comes Cameron Burncombe into the finish now. Good time, 791 points, 201.52 for Cameron. Big improvement on his entry times. 205 was his entry time. He's improved that to 201.52. Wow. So well done, Cameron Burncombe. Burncombe 791, Labrador Fernandez 685, Longaran Carrera 657, Spain in second and third positions. Now the final heat of this 200 freestyle open male is heat number 4. Final heat sees Nathan Millet of France in 0, Rhea Rogers, Basildon Phoenix in lane number 1, Joseph Greaves, Nova Centurion in 2, Rhys Darby from Great Britain in lane number 3. They're all S14s. Justin Capps from Germany, S10 swimmer, breaking up the S14s there. He goes in lane 4. Louis Lawler and Dylan Broom in 5 and 6. They're S14 swimmers. Bas Takken from Netherlands in lane 7. He's an S10 swimmer. Jordan Catchpole and William Ellard. In the outside lanes, they are S14 swimmers as well. Well, William Ellard, we've spoken about William Ellard before. What a great 100 freestyler he was. Just missed out on the gold medal World Championships in this event, the 200 freestyle. But he's really looking good in the early stages of this one. Bas Takken going well. Bas Takken, European record holder, 156.35 in the S10 classification for this 200 freestyle. He's been headed by William Ellard at the moment. Ellard, of course, along with Jordan Catchpole, an integral part of the Great Britain very successful freestyle relay squad for the S14 relays. And Ellard coming home now. This is going to be a big points total. Bas Takken going well in second position. But it is going to be Ellard, 158.77, 847 points. Bas Takken just ahead of him, just on the 2-minute mark. So those are the two highest point scorers. I think no one else in the 800 range. Bas Takken will lead them into the final 854 points. Not quite the points totals that we saw in the very first heat by Dimitri Grandjew, but makes it interesting. So Takken, Ellard and Capps, that is the top 3 for that final heat.
Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
I volunteer just because I love sport.
It's inclusive for everybody. There's things for children, there's things for wheelchair users.
The aquatic centre's only just reopened, so I wanted to be sort of involved in part of that journey.
The volunteers, they're just so inspirational, and to be more like them, it makes me a better person, a happier person.
It's a good thing to do. It's fun to meet new people and get involved in an international sporting event.
They're purely for the athletes' benefit and also to see how the real world works.
I volunteer because I'm doing sport management at Manchester Metropolitan University.
I volunteer at a lot of things because it makes me meet new people.
But every time I come, I have a great time, and I'd encourage anyone to give it a go.
And it's just an amazing experience to do, really.
Feeling that cost of living crunch? Labara are here to help.
All I want is great customer service and network, but for less.
That's why Labara gives you 15 gigabytes of 5G data and unlimited UK minutes and text for just £10 a month. Plus, no contract, change or cancel anytime.
An excellent customer service.
So what's stopping you joining the bill-busting revolution? Labara. More for less.